now I'm blackout trading last year's shoes. I made out with wrist behind a circuit breaker. I'm praying to Buffett like he's my caretaker. The Bulls were my boys when the tickers went green, but now I'm ghosted by gains like a drug that got clean. And my broker says breathe, but I'm red in the teeth while I hedge my regrets and I chew on belief. I dance with derivative, kiss my own doom. My therapist charting my mental volume. I told my mom I'm diversified, but she knows I've been margin fried. So cheers to the climb and collapse of my soul, to the love I leveraged and the lies I sold. Wall Street's a slot machine dressed in a suit, and I'm betting my future in scuffed dress shoes. Raise a toast to the dead, I pretend I don't see. I'm emotionally short and financially free. I fell in love with a candlestick tease. She ghosted me once, we dip below knees. I'm tracing a neckline with Fibonacci scars while I trade in confessions for shiny new cars. A bottle of bourbon and 3 market blues. Got a date with regret and some aftermarket news. I journal my sins on a napkin chart while my conscience just watches the spreads fall apart. I flirted with yield like it meant something sweet, but she sold me for pennies and danced on repeat. I'm one pump away from divine intervention, but God's still short in my good intentions. So cheers to the climb and collapse of my soul, to the love I leveraged and the lies I sold. Wall Street's a slot machine dressed in a suit, and I'm betting my future in scuffed dress shoes. Raise a toast to the dead, I pretend I don't see. I'm emotionally short and financially free. Call me volatile, baby, I break before close. I'm a Ponzi of feelings, a chart overdose. Gotta put on my heart and a call on regret, and I trade you tomorrow to erase what we bet. Buy the dip, but I'm drowning in drinks. Sell the top, but I blink and it sinks. Trust the plan as my sanity flips, and I YOLO my rent for a shot at the Ritz. So cheers to the thrill that was never secure, to the hope I inflated and the crash I endured. Wall Street's a nightclub for broken ideals, where we march in the margin and trade how we feel. Raise a toast to the risk that became my routine. I'm emotionally short, but damn I look green.
You need to add more collateral over selling your entire position and burn. Typical.
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Good morning, my little egg McMuffins. How are you guys doing today? It is a beautiful Monday, June the 16th, and as I promised you on Friday, my local taqueria, it did see the ugly side of sangria, margaritas, and I have a public announcement that I need to make. Everyone, just shut up. Shut your mouths when you're talking to me. I have a giant announcement. Matthew Maximus Kohrs, hereby declare this summer the summer of Hugo Spritzes. If you don't know what a Hugo Spritz is, imagine an Aperol Spritz, but not horrible. I do declare this is not even nationwide. This is a global statement. This is the Hugo Spritz summer. I will do nothing but commit myself to exclusively drinking Hugo Spritz all summer. If you don't know what one is, have one today at lunch. Do what you need to. It's not the most popular drink, but it's also not the most rare drink. And if you ask me, I think it's, sometimes in a family, there's like a really impressive kid and he gets all the accolades and blah, 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 blah. But then there's another sibling who's a little bit more quiet, a little bit more reserved. But by the time you really look into it, it's that quiet, reserved sibling who's actually doing far, far better. That's what I'm talking about here. In the Spritz family, for whatever reason, Aperol Spritz is the guy. Everyone's talking about Aperol Spritz. But in reality, everyone's faking it. Everyone pretends to like Aperol Spritz just because they were told to like Aperol Spritz. I swear, I don't think a single person on this planet actually likes the taste of Aperol. I think this is all a giant conspiracy, and people are faking it. I truly, deeply believe that. When in reality, even though Aperol within this family, of the Spritz family, is getting all the accolades, everyone's like, yo, we're hanging out with Aperol. Aperol's such a cool guy. You know who's actually cool? You know who's genuinely a good guy and smart and athletic and super handsome? Hugo. His brother, his little brother, Hugo Spritz, is way, way better. So that's the official declaration of really not the day, but really also, well, I guess you could argue for the whole summer. I was going to say it's the declaration for the day, which is true, and the week and the month, but I think this is a straight up summer announcement. That is the announcement. Write it down. I expect everyone to fully commit to it. We are going to make Hugo Spritz a thing. Am I paid off by the larger Spritz family? Of course I am, folks. I'm a large investor in the Spritz outcome, and I have a lot of calls on Hugo Spritz. So I suggest all of you guys do the exact same thing, and we're gonna right now Aperol Spritz is getting shorted on the dark pool. You bet it is. It's about to get shorted in the real overall market. We don't want to hide this data. We want everyone to know that it's going down. So that's the announcement, folks. Aperol Spritz, it's for clowns. Hugo Spritz is where it's at. You know where else it's at? The freaking world's largest casino. Hello? Why is that not popping up for you guys? Okay, there it is. Stock futures rebound as oil falls. Investors bet Israel-Iran conflict will remain limited. You know what the market likes? Apparently, WW Trace. As we have two very important, impactful companies slinging missiles at each other, the market's saying, we'd like the cut of your jib. And we're actually looking pretty freaking good in pre-market trading right now. The SPY gapping up about 0.6%. You have the Qs up about 0.8%. And you have the Russell up about 0.8. Now, will this hold? I have no idea. Folks, if I had a crystal ball that worked and could tell me, is this pump real or is it fake? I would not have to do this job day in and day out. But what I can tell you is it's kind of a morbid saying, and we were chit-chatting about it in the Discord on Friday. There is a saying within Wall Street, though, for active traders of you sell the missiles and you buy the body count. Like I said, it's a very morbid saying, but it's a saying for a reason, because if you look at how conflicts have played out in the past in the market, that's the exact way to play it. When there's this heightened sense of fear of like, dude, how bad is it? Like where there's all those unknowns, that's when you would sell the missiles, as in you don't know the results, and then you quote unquote buy the body count. So by the time the dust settles and we figure out how bad is, generally that's more of a bottoming-esque type of a situation, and you buy that back up. Like I said, I didn't come up with it. It's very, very morbid, but it is a saying that definitely got a little bit of a rebirth over the weekend. So that's what we're seeing right now. Quite the pop-up. Will it hold? Won't it hold? The answer is going to be a lot more complex than just the conflict between Israel and Iran, which we are getting some positive news there. That's why the market's up. That's why oil is following. But there are other things going down this week that we have to talk about, such as we could potentially get updates related to trade deals. We know Trump is going to be a member of the G7 summit. That's playing out this week. We have an FOMC meeting on Wednesday. The market's closed on Thursday. We have options expiration on Friday. There's a 20-year bond auction today. There's a 5-year tips auction tomorrow. There's a lot going down. There is a lot going down. So I think as we do, maybe we should keep things calm, cool, collected, and realize there's really no point for prediction here, because you never know when things are going to be popping off, not popping off. There's just like so much to consider, and there's so many unknown variables where keep it simple, stupid. The old KISS methodology, where just react to breakouts, react to breakdowns, react to low risk, high reward situations. Because remember, no one here has a crystal ball. You're going to be right about half the time. You're going to be wrong about half the time. You should assume that's going to be roughly your hit rate, because guess why? That's exactly the hit rate of the best traders in the world. Right half, wrong half. All you have to do is know that there's about a 50-50 chance of you being right or wrong. So the way you could be net profitable in those situations is superior risk to reward management. Obviously, low risk, high reward. And when you have a winner, you ride it. When you have a loser, and I know it's tough, but you want to cut it as quickly as you possibly can. Now, I know that's a larger conversation of discipline and sticking to your trading plan and yada, yada, yada. And that's your own personal battle. Like, we all have it, and what works for one person might not work for the other person. But please don't get caught up in this world of thinking that there's a holy grail trading system that's right all of the time and never takes any losses. Don't get caught up in these gurus, furus, even mainstream media, this sentiment of they definitively know where it's going to go, because as of Friday, market close, it looked bad. People are like, dude, this is going to escalate over the weekend. Oil is going to go sky high. The market's going to drop and drop and drop. And guess what? Market open really last night for the futures market. Beautiful gap up. But then we're also still seeing it hold here in pre-market trading. So as crazy as that news was, and we all have that human knee-jerk reaction of thinking, oh, wow, this is going to be bad. Guess what? It doesn't need to be bad. And it works the other way too, where things are seemingly amazing. And I don't know, for example, we've all seen this with like earnings announcements where they beat on top and bottom line numbers and they have positive forward-looking guidance, and then all of a sudden the stock gaps down anyway. So I think a lot of these times people and traders, and like we've all been there, I've been there myself, of like attempting to predict of like, okay, we have this set of information, we very much think it's bullish or bearish. No. That might be good for longer time frame things, such as investing of like, hey, I think EV is going to be a legit wave, and I think electric vehicles are going to be more popular 20 years from now than they are at this moment. Okay, that's enough time for a legit prediction of a certain trend to play out. In the short term of how's it going to react in the next day, in the next hour, in the next minute, folks, it's 50-50 guessing. It really is. That's the secret behind the curtain. If the market were a giant Wizard of Oz character, the secret wizard behind the curtain is the fact that in the short term, the market is a 50-50 game. But yet with a 50-50 game, you can still be massively profitable. So me saying it's 50-50 doesn't mean that this casino sucks and you shouldn't be playing in it. It just means, okay, understand what the game really is. Even take, for example, blackjack. Folks, wait for those cards to be stacked in your favor. And when you have a slight edge, that's when you start betting a little bit heavier, because that's what's going to make you profitable in the long run. So with that all being said, before the market opens, and we have about 18 minutes to go, this idea of predicting bullish or bearish. Yeah, you might be hopeful, but remember, just generically predicting with like your gut reaction, that's not what's going to make you money here. That is definitely not what's going to make you money here, because you never know when things break one way or another, such as the fact that Iran's leaders face a reckoning as Israeli strikes are intensifying. Israel is trying to exploit the Islamic Republic's weakness to foment economic unrest and spark the overthrow of the clerical regime that ruled Iran for almost half a century. We are literally living in something that's going to be documented throughout history. I'm sure like many of you in here, I myself over the weekend, I'm just doom scrolling on everything that I could possibly find on X, and the videos, the updates, the photos. This is absolutely insane. Israel vows Iran will quote unquote pay the price as attacks continue for a fourth day. So this obviously got going really between Thursday and Friday, really started Thursday night, and obviously it's unrelenting all weekend. Iran and Israel continue trading fire in a fourth day of armed escalations. The residents of Tehran will pay the price, and soon, according to the Israeli defense minister. Investors have been weighing the odds of further escalation in the conflict and spillover into the broader oil-rich Middle East. So once again, Iran, it is a major oil producer. I believe right now it's about a third of the overall supplies. Please don't quote me on that, but it's roughly in that realm. But even if they stop producing, you just have shipping routes in that area that also, because of armed conflict, could be impacting the supply of oil we have. And if demand stays the same, well, guess what happens to price? It goes up. As I'm saying this, price is elevated, but it is coming off of its peak because we do see things calming down slightly. Surge in oil prices pauses after WTI topped 77 a barrel overnight, with the Israel-Iran conflict continuing. It is continuing, but there is, oil right now trading at 72, so slightly elevated. Not long ago, it was in the low 60s, now we're in the low 70s, but not like really over the Friday, was it? At one point on Friday, we were actually in the high 70s. So depends on your time frame of are we quote unquote up or not. But why things are bullish in the equities market this morning and why oil is coming down. Iranian foreign minister, we will halt all attacks on Israel if Israel ceases its strikes. So we're starting to get the initial steps of maybe cooler heads are going to prevail and kind of stop with the destruction and devastation that we've already been seeing. Another update on that front. Breaking, Iran is reportedly ready to abandon uranium enrichment, but needs a quote-unquote face-saving exit per Iran wire. It appears we are on the brink of an Israel-Iran peace deal. So remember, the market is a forward-looking mechanism, and right now that forward-looking mechanism is saying, hey, maybe this destruction and the fights and the needless deaths and the missiles and all that, maybe, just maybe, we're actually going to end that very soon. So are they right on this? I don't know. Like maybe we do come to some sort of a conclusion. That would be great for everyone involved. Obviously, it could go the other way. It could get worse. But right now, what the market is pricing in is that we are closer to being done with it than we are to the start. And obviously, just as a human on this planet, let's hope that we are closer to being done with it. So that is something major to consider today, this week, but there are other major things to consider. Trump returns to G7 he once loathed as Iran crisis intensifies. President Donald Trump is attending a Group of 7 summit in Canada where leaders will try to avoid conflict with him and address the escalating Middle East crisis between Israel and Iran. So this is going down this week. Of course, this is a very headline-driven environment, and if positive headlines come out of this meeting, great. That could literally send the market to a new all-time high. On the other side, as this kind of alluded to, if additional fighting breaks out from this particular summit, well, that could send the market down. I do want to remind everyone we're about 2% away from an all-time high. Yes, you heard me right, an all-time high. So this could easily break either way. And my main pitch to all of you is do not be married to the bullish or the bearish side. Be married to the low risk, high reward setup and ride whatever trend is created from it. And not only this, but Israel, Iran, well, I'm here to tell you that you also have an FOMC meeting on Wednesday, June 18th. As of right now, the Fed fund rate is at 4.25%. There's a 99.8% chance that we stay at 4.25%, which means we're not getting a rate cut. We're not getting a rate hike. Rates are going to stay steady. And in fact, they're probably going to stay steady in July as well, where there's an 81% chance as of right now, according to the market, 81% chance that we once again stay at 4.25% in the July meeting. And it isn't until mid-September that we have a better chance than not that we get some sort of change. In this case, it would be a 25 bips rate cut. But I should call that out that there's still a 1/3 shot that we actually stay here at the 4.25%. So that's a quick breakdown of what we are kind of seeing heading into this Wednesday FOMC meeting. So for those of you who don't know, the Federal Open Market Committee meeting, it's actually a 2-day meeting. Technically, it starts tomorrow. We get the results of it on Wednesday at 2 p.m. And then Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Fed, will be doing his public press conference at 2:30 on Wednesday. So pay attention to that right here. Fed on hold leaves Wall Street asking what it will take to cut interest rates. I don't know. Well, I could say with 99% accuracy, we're not getting a rate cut. I could say also with 99% accuracy that at some point on Wednesday, we're going to get a true social update from Trump basically saying, hey, you're too late. He's going to use that adjective that he loves now for Powell of just too late, pal. 99% accuracy. He's going to say something about it there. So how will the market react? Well, I don't know, 50% up, 50% down. But that's all going down Wednesday. And between now and then, there are 2 bond auctions. So today at 1 p.m., we get the results of the 20-year bond auction. Tomorrow, not only do we get retail sales, but we have the 5-year tips auction. And then on Wednesday, that's when we get into the FOMC stuff. I should remind you that the market is going to be closed on Thursday, June 19th in observation of Juneteenth. And then on Friday, the market is open and it's also going to be OPEX, but it's going to be a weird one just because of this. And I think a lot of people are basically going to cut the week early on Wednesday. So I kind of wish they made Friday the official holiday that we celebrated it because this holiday and then one extra trading day, I think it's really just going to drive volume levels down. So those are the major things to pay attention to. With respect to seasonality, we're at this weird choppy point. So I do have the individual days. If you haven't already, sign up for the newsletter, macros.locals.com. It's 100% free, has always been free, always will be free. I break down what's going on in the market, little cheat sheet of the major macroeconomic events, and then I give you the seasonality of each individual day, which brings us to today, Monday, June 16th. Over the past 27 years, the bulls have won this day 71% of the time with a very impressive profit factor of 4.84. So if you're exclusively trading on seasonality, you're already loving what's going on. Now, did it take a lot of cojones to swing it bullish over the weekend? It did, but guess what? As of market open right now, looks like it's gonna pay. So this is a look at the hypothetical equity curve you would have if you bought at open, sold at close on the S&P 500 futures market on this individual day. Bullish, flat, and then bullish once again. The bears have really not had much of a control on this particular day. Now, is this some sort of guarantee that the bulls are gonna win? No, I'm giving you the historic odds right now, and obviously we'll see if it plays out. Now, for the remainder of the week, Tuesday, a bit more bearish. Wednesday, a bit more bearish. Thursday, markets obviously closed. And then on Friday, a bit more bearish. So today is by far, from a seasonal perspective, the most bullish day of the entire week. But obviously, let's see how things actually play out in this week with our real-time price action, because that's what's either going to make us or lose us money. Like I said, sign up for this newsletter. It comes to your email inbox every single Sunday. It's 100% free. macros.locals.com. My mod will drop it into chat. And that brings us back to a little bit of what we're seeing in pre-market trading right now. So decent recovery on the SPY, the Qs, and the Russell. Even on Bitcoin recapturing 106,000 at one point early this morning, getting above 107. But it does seem as if we're slightly stalling out just below Friday's high. So obviously I'll be paying attention to that, and clearly throughout the day we're going to be able to track what is going on with the options flow. We'll wait for market open to do it. Actually, I should probably show you the trace deal. Kind of interesting. So you could see that we're caught up in quite a bit of positive gamma right here. I would say there's a block of positive gamma from 5,990 to about 6,030. You could see that we have a bit of a call credit spread above right here, 6025 spread by 6030. Yeah, okay, about 2,000. And then down here, we do also have maybe kind of it's weird. This isn't a Captain Condor setup. It's kind of structurally similar, but this one's a bit unique of what we're saying. This is not the classic Captain Condor. But anyway, above, we do have the call credit spread. Below, we have seemingly a put debit spread, but then there's also some long puts down here, while there's also some long calls up here. So right here, the early morning data is suggesting there are some people aggressively betting on the bullish outcome. There's also some people aggressively betting on the bearish outcome. And you can't see it. Let me switch this up. Yeah, you can see all this negative gamma down here. So interesting forces at play today. And the fact that it's not so clearly lopsided one way or the other, as I normally pitch to you, this is a great time to just at market open, sit, chill, wait to see how things really set up. What is the price structure? What is the options flow? Where are we at with respect to major levels? As of right now, if the market were open at this second, we'd be at 6,015. Which is just on top of the transition zone. As I normally do, previous trading session, I mark out the high, the low, and the close. That is the green, the red, and the white, respectively. Then you have this white box, which from a 0 DTE perspective is where you're going to change with respect to gamma and delta. And the important aspect there is that's going to change how market makers have to react to hedging out their books. So much more of a choppy transition zone, obviously bullish above, bearish below. And then the final thing are these yellow horizontal lines, which are the major open interest levels of the day. And obviously that is what I will be looking for. But I do think I have this one mismarked. 25. Yeah, this one is mismarked. It's not 22.5. It is 27.5. So that's halfway through. Basically, I'm cutting this call credit spread in half. So we're in this positive gamma, and whether we break to the upside or break to the downside, I think that is very much going to be a tradable opportunity. So that's what I'll be looking for today. Once again, looks like the breakout's above 6,030, or the breakdown is below 5,990. I would definitely keep those in mind today. So it's as simple as this. Do we get above and hold above the high from Friday, or do we get push below this 6,000 key technical psychological level, more so suggesting that the bears are in control. And then they are very much in control if we break below 59.50. I can tell you this very earnestly right here at market open. I have no idea. I am not feeling bullishly biased. I'm not feeling bearishly biased. I did swing puts over the weekend, so I kind of hope we do break to the downside just so I don't get completely clobbered on my puts. But if I had no position, if I took my own bias out of this equation, if I had no position right now, I would say at market open, great, I'm going to keep it that way because who knows what in the world is going down. So I truly, the data is saying that no one's really in control right now, especially on a zero DTE perspective. If you look at the swing situation, if you look at the daily chart of what's going on, well, that's definitely more of a bullish story. We just have higher highs, higher lows. This is a little dip. We might just be bouncing off this trend line and ripping. So if you're looking at the daily chart, if you're more of this swing trader, I would still be a little bit more comfortable as a bull than I would be a bear. But then if you're looking at this smaller time frame, we're still within this range from Friday. We're not breaking out. We're not breaking down. We got to wait for market open. And even from there, you never know how the market's going to react to any updates with Israel, Iran. You don't know how it's going to update from any of the headlines coming out of G7. We have that FOMC meeting on Wednesday. But before that, we have two different events within the fixed income market, 20-year bond auction and 5-year TIPS auction today and tomorrow. Both of those are at 1 p.m. Eastern, just so you know. We have crypto a little bit recovering. We have oil actually giving up 72. Oil is falling very quickly right now, telling me that things are going a little bit back to risk on. So a lot of interesting things to pay attention to, but I think it all boils down to the fact of just chill. We don't need to rush anything. Just wait for those perfect opportunities. Now, I do want to get to some of your questions. Feel free to post your questions of what you're looking at, what tickers, I don't know, whatever your questions are, start to get those going now. And as we do that, very quickly, a shout out to today's stream partner. I'm talking about Public. We've been partnered up with Public now for a year and a half, and it's for good reason. This is the brokerage I trust the most. Circa 2021, they were the first brokerage to put their hand up and say, hey, payment for order flow is kind of messed up, and we care about you guys, the traders, as our real clients, not the market makers. So because of that, I had a lot more respect for them. And then as an active trader, when they started rolling out the rebates for options trading, I liked them even more. So if you don't know what's going on with these rebates, every single time you trade an options contract, doesn't matter if you're buying or selling, doesn't matter if it's a call or a put, you will be getting a rebate. If you want to start a higher rebate tier, make sure to use that link pinned to the top of chat. It's above my head. It's in the description of the video, but you can download Public for free. You can sign up for free. There are no commission fees. There are no per contract fees, and you earn a rebate for every options contract you trade. Like I said, doesn't matter if you're buying or selling, doesn't matter if it's a call or a put. If you are an options trader or an aspiring option trader, you need to at minimum check out Public. Like I said, pinned to the top in the description of the video. And the reason for that is there is no other brokerage I know of that has a rebate. All these other ones, they keep all of the rebate. They don't share it with you whatsoever. At Public, obviously their structure is a little bit different of how they pull it off. So like I said, check it out, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Yes, they still have equities trading, no payment for order flow. They have crypto trading. They have retirement accounts. They have high yield accounts. They have bond trading. They really do have everything that you're gonna need as an active trader. So I highly recommend you check it out, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video, and use that link because you're gonna start off at a higher rebate tier. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's get to the 1 minute right here. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Where's Palantir? I want to see Tesla and Palantir out of the gate. Let's get into this. Let me get the screens where we need them to be. Obviously, when the market gets going today, we can check the options flow. Let me get the hero tool ready so we can see, are the bulls bullish? Are the bears bearish? Let's get this all ready. Let's get it cleaned up so it looks all nice. And then just to show you guys, I have not made any trades yet today. Here are all my accounts. I have my 1 take profit account. I have my 20 Apex accounts. The take profit is up the most, about 1.2K, while all the Apex accounts are up just a hair below $1,000. So trading on 21 accounts. And do I have this all hooked up properly? I believe I do. I believe I do. I believe I do. I believe I do. Do I? Yes, I do. I think so. We'll see. Who knows? Who really knows these days? Who really knows? All right, so we have all that ready. Someone's asking about Netflix. Oddly enough, I was looking at Netflix early this morning, and man, oh man, is it looking good. I'm liking this setup. I'm just waiting for it to have a little bit of a bullish follow through, because obviously it's been bullish for quite a while. We have a little bit of consolidation, pump, new all-time high, pulling it back a little bit. We're in consolidation. Personally, I'm just waiting for this consolidation to break, and then hopefully it's a break to the upside, and then I want to play that, obviously risking whatever the recent low is. So it's on my watch list. It's looking good. I just need a little bit more convincing that the bulls are in control there. But honestly, that's been the dark horse amazing candidate this entire year. When the market was plummeting in April and we were down 15% or so, the Netflix, it just went back to break even year to date. Like, Netflix on a relative basis has been showing quite a bit of strength. So definitely something worthwhile to pay attention to. Dingity ding ding ding. The world's largest casino is now open. Best of luck to all. Play responsibly, and if not, have fun. All right, let's see how things are shaping up out of the gate. We have a little bit of apprehension out of the gate here on Tesla, while everything else is fighting a little bit green. Palantir, I believe this is a new all-time high, so that's pretty exciting. What kind of alert did I just get on Meta there? Meta, the old gap up on Meta. The old gap up on Meta, and now I'm getting an alert on NVIDIA. The old breakout on NVIDIA. So gap up alert on Meta, bullish breakout alert here on NVIDIA. Broadcom and inside day thus far. Tesla, not far away from its own little breakout. Netflix, literally breaking its high from Friday. Palantir, new all-time high. Microsoft going for a new all-time high. ASML, not much. MSTR, a little bit of a gap up. Rum showing some green. Apple not looking the best. How's DJT doing? You guys might have missed it, but the new news on DJT is that I guess the president is getting into the business of making phones. Let me see if I can find this for you. Yeah, but you heard me right. DJT right here. President Trump's True Social files for True Social Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF. The Trump Organization is launching Trump Mobile, which will offer phones that are made in the USA. So I guess that's from the Trump Organization, Trump Mobile. He's getting in the phone business. I still think that's a little interesting there, but I guess that's what's going on. A little strange, but that interesting announcement of the day for sure. Interesting announcement. Here's a look. Ooh, let me reload this. I want to see the options flow for the first couple minutes. If you're just joining right now, welcome. I have not made any trades yet today, just because I think it's a prudent move to just see. Ooh, the Qs are taking out their high from Friday. NASDAQ is getting a pippity pop. Where are the Qs? Yeah, they are getting a pop. Oh, I guess it's time that I look up my swing account and look at the damage that's been done. Ooh, that's a brutal one. Is it going to hold? We're only 2.5 minutes into the day. All right. I know we should never be guessing, but while we are just waiting for market to open, folks, please tell me your best guess on the day. Do you, in your heart of hearts, truly believe that this was just a little fake out dip on Friday and we're about to pop and we're going to have a very nice green day? Or do you think that the fake out was actually the pre-market action and we're actually about to give this all back and get smacked at one of these levels and get knocked back to close and test somewhere down here? Basically, are you feeling a little bit more bullish today, or are you feeling a little bit more bearish today? Someone's getting faked out here. Either the pre-market pop is a bull trap, or the Friday action was more of a bear trap. Someone's getting trapped. Someone is getting trapped. And I just want your best thoughts on who you think the person getting trapped is. News and history written by what? 4,000 Tyrant King history wrote into the Bible? Never. What are you possibly talking about over there? Are you losing your mind? Bull trap, war ain't over. Well, that's the assumption that the war is somehow bearish for the market. Where are you? I have you looked at any of the stats of how the market performs during war? Darkness rising, bull trap, war ain't over. It's a little bit misinformed to assume that wars are bad for the market. Maybe this particular war, it changes, but if history tells us anything, the stock market actually likes war, which is kind of a messed up thing to say. But hey, I'm not the one who writes the history books. I'm not the person who throughout all the wars has been smashing the buy button, but that is a little bit of what we have seen. Knock stock is falling. Market is not pricing in a lengthy war. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're wrong. I don't know where are you getting that information. Once again, I feel like you're making statements here that is like more of your gut feeling than anything else. Like in your opinion, the market might not be pricing in a lengthy war, but that's exclusively your thought. It's not like the market has a sign someday and somewhere and like, yep, this is how long the war is that we're pricing in. Like this is once again like your interpretation of the situation. Calls on hummus and falafel. Bruh, change the battery in your smoke detector. Me? I don't think it's going off. Well, I know it's not going off because it's like mine is like awkwardly loud and very, very annoying. Are you sure you're not losing your mind in like, are you sure it's not your own smoke detector going off? It would be like piercing, dude. That noise is so incredibly annoying. All right, the Qs ran up to the high from Friday, tried to pop above it, got smacked, tried to get knocked below it, but nope, pop right back up. So this is the first major battle we are watching, is to see how the QQQs, how the NASDAQ 100 reacts to the high from Friday. Did make a fresh high, which tells us that there's about a 78% chance that we close above 526.94. That's one stat that we do get from Edgeful. As soon as you take out a previous trading session's high or low, whichever that direction is, you have a very good chance of closing on that side of the previous closing value. So the fact that we've already taken out the high from Friday, like I said, recent history has told us that there's about a 78% chance that the Qs close green today. Is it a guarantee? Absolutely not. But it is interesting stats. War is hell. Some men lose limbs. Some make a killing in the market, but it's always hell. I don't think anyone's disagreeing with you. I don't think anyone's trying to pitch that war is awesome. Should I be treating Oklo as a swing or an investment? I think if you're asking me that or anyone that, you shouldn't be involved with it at all if you don't know what the hell you're doing. That feels like it's a really, really good way to lose money. A really good way to lose money. All right, I see people talking about CRCL. I'm not really that interested in it because it literally just started trading. Not only do you have a lack of data, but what? You want to either go long at an all-time high or short at an all-time high? That seems like craziness. I see why you're interested in it, and I used to fall into this trap myself when I first started trading of trying to trace anything that is moving. But the fact that it's already moving by this much means you already missed your opportunity. That is a common sign of a new trader, or maybe not a new trader, but a losing trader, is always chasing the thing that is already having the big move. By definition, since it already had the move, you're already late to the party. You got to train your brain that as soon as you see that and you're like, oh, wow, it's up 17%, a gap up after a thing that's already up 125% that also just started trading, you got to train your brain to be like, oh, cool, that's not for me whatsoever. Not that like, I don't know. There's too much FOMO, and I see retail traders get caught in that all the time. And folks, I lived through that. I did that all the time, especially way back when in 2016, 2017, when I was predominantly a penny stock trader, and it inevitably ends in disaster. So if you are like all of a sudden thinking about trading that just like it's an all-time high and it's already gapping up, like what's your advantage there? Like, what are you doing? You're taking on so much risk that it's just simply not worth it. It is truly not worth it. And I guess if you're in it, I wish you the best of luck. I hope you don't get destroyed. But if you keep trading in that style and with that mentality, eventually your bad beat's going to come and you're going to lose your money. So if you happen to be in CRCL right now, like I said, I do wish you the best of luck. But in terms of, is that a quality decision you are making? Absolutely not. And when you make these bad decisions time and time again, it is only a matter of time before you get murked. What are my thoughts on Neonode stock? I have no thoughts on it. I don't even know what the hell it is. I have absolutely no thoughts. No thoughts. If it's running, you're late. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good sentiment in general. When something is already moving 17% after, and also just the fact that it's a new stock, like inherently, I'm a very data-driven trader, and the fact that it just started trading means that there's not much data on it. By definition, it just made its public debut how many days ago? Like a week and a half ago? You just don't really have much data to go on. If you see the train leaving the station, you miss your ride, wait for the next one. Exactly. And that's one of the beautiful things about the market is there is an endless amount of trains. So if you see one going, and I get it, we all have that FOMO and you're like, but what if it keeps going? Like this is the one that's getting, like, I totally get it. But those are the psychology aspects that you got to work on and be like, nope, like I missed that train, just wait for the next one. There's so much opportunity any given day in the market, and that's just stocks, no less options and futures and crypto. There's such an amount, a crazy amount of opportunity that when you think about it that way, it's actually silly that you're wasting any of your time on something that is objectively not an opportunity. It's already gone. And I get it. Your brain might be tricking you saying, no, like this is an opportunity. But if you take a step back and you really think about it, just from a risk reward perspective, you in your heart of hearts know that it's already gone. You absolutely already know it. Palantir's ripping. Yeah, I see someone that's going nuts. It is. It's up 4.85%. This thing is a beast. It's an absolute beast. All right. We're looking kind of double toppy right here in the SPY, but let's see what the options. Oh, hang on. Be careful about chasing this because the options market is actually telling us that this is a bull trap. So either price is going to fall or options are going to pop. But right now we are seeing a clear differential. We're seeing the SPY and the Qs pop, but yet the Mag 7 options flow has been getting hit ever since 9/31. So you got to just have that patience and wait for the trend to get in alignment, either price and options both trending up or both trending down. But right now there's a clear mismatch. So just, I don't know, be cognizant of that. On the SPY, it's a little bit more together. Prices up and options are also generically up. But I do want to remind you that we're only 12 minutes into the day. We don't even have that 15-minute Orbo yet. So just wait, calm, cool, collected. We don't need to rush anything. Like I said, plethora of opportunity in any given trading day. And if anything, I could argue that we're kind of range bound since the first 3 or 4 minutes. We're not really trending up or down. The Qs have been range bound since the second minute. We pumped and just flat here. Palantir slowly but surely climbing. Tesla got hit, bouncing back. Avago is doing what? Popped, going flat. Nvidia flat all day. Meta flat, breaking to the downside. Netflix popped and now flat. Microsoft popped and flat. ASML trending down. MSTR just flat. RUM flat. Apple flat. Coin popped and now flat. CRWV, this is another one that everyone's been chasing lately, dropped and now popping. So Palantir, if you're looking for the nice trending thing of the day, obviously Palantir has been a very nice trending one. I see a lot of people commenting Oklo popped, giving it back, but up 11%. So relative to Friday, doing pretty good. Intraday trading, nothing too special. We're seeing a potential. The Qs have been really struggling at the high from Friday, while the SPY's been struggling just below the high. And we are running into some of this resistance. Not only do you have the important technical level of the high on SPX at 6026, but you have the, I was showing this to you. Hang on, where is it? The call credit spread is definitely having a funky impact on the gamma levels right here. So you could see this play. someone sold a bunch of 6025s, and then to hedge it out, they bought a bunch of 6030s. So that is a call credit spread. And you can see the funky things it's doing to the gamma impact. So the market starting to struggle at this options play, but also the technical level of the high. So will it break out or not? I have no idea, but I can tell you that this is the first major watch of the day. Can the bulls get above and hold above this level? If so, that puts 6055 into play. If it gets rejected here, well, then I'd be looking down here at 6,000. I am not bullish or bearish. I'm hoping the bearish situation plays out because that'll offer a little bit of relief to my puts, but I'm not married to that. If we get above and hold above, yeah, I'm going to play it up to 6055. So I'm just waiting for the reaction at this particular level, and I think that's the easiest way. Wow, Palantir is not stopping. Palantir is losing its mind. What's your opinion on Palantir price to earnings being at 600? That only matters, are you an investor or a trader? If you're a trader, it does not matter. If you're an active trader, why would you give a shit about the price to earnings ratio? As an investor, you might be thinking, okay, am I investing at like a fundamentally overvalued portion phase of the company? So I think that only matters if you're talking about it as an investment, and I'm talking about it as an investment right now at $144. As an active trader, if you're going to be in it for a day, a week, a month, it literally just does not matter. It does not matter. Sorry, Matt, my hands were sweaty and I accidentally reported you. LMAO. Well, that's weird. And also, why are your hands sweaty? What is going on that your hands are sweaty at 9:45 in the morning? That's a bit concerning. You might want to get that checked out, dude. You might want to go see a doctor or something. That sounds weird. SPY curling back down? No, it just made a new intraday high. And so did the Qs. So both the SPY and the Qs got their Orbo breakout right here. See the first 15-minute bar, we just broke the high. See the first 15-minute bar, we just broke the high. The stats around the 15-minute Orbo are really not that impressive. It gets more interesting when you look at the 30-minute Orbo and the 60-minute Orbo. There are people right now in real time trying to, I don't know, tell the world that trading the 15-minute opening range breakout or breakdown is a good way to go. I would say that the stats disagree. On any given day, when you have a 15-minute Orbo breakout or breakdown, it's pretty much the same at odds. You have a 50-50 chance of, on that day, going to the other side of the Orbo. So a lot of people, for whatever reason, they're like, for example, using today's data as like a good teaching opportunity. What people are doing is they're buying this breakout, but what they don't realize is over the past 1 to 3 to 5 years, buying that breakout, is it really that smart when you have a 50% chance of returning to the other side of the Orbo? And then even if you want to short that, once again, it only reverts 50% of the time. So you don't really have much of an interesting edge there. You have a 50-50 shot. Matt, QQQ, are you still selling covered calls for income? No, I was never, ever doing that. Matt, quick question. Are you still selling covered calls for income? I'll do that. I thought you were asking if I was doing it on QQQ. I'll do covered calls once in a while on my long-term account, but it's not like a primary, I guess, play that I do. That's not, I mean, I'll do it because I think it's a good way to earn extra money, but it's not something that, like, I don't know, we talk about actively here. It's just like a slow and steady type of a thing. All right, the SPY and Qs are definitely struggling at the high from Friday. Definitely struggling at the high from Friday. Look at this, Mag 7. People are using this opportunity to get out of their calls. Please be careful. This is maybe a more interesting reason of why you shouldn't be tracing the 15-minute Orbo breakout. Why would you be tracing the breakout when the market is telling you they don't want calls? Mag 7 calls are getting sold like no other. Granted, puts are flat, and then some people right here at 946 started to get more puts. But if you are throwing on a bullish position right now, you're like, I'm showing you the data. It's in your face. The options market is getting rid of calls. And then looking at the SPY was looking good up until about 947. And then right here, we got this a puke right here. Someone bought puts and actually sold calls. So adding negative delta, removing positive delta. It's the old two for, and that's why we just saw this puke right here. Please be careful. Please, if you're chasing this, you have to at least have that patience to wait for this like selling to stop. The delta is just getting absolutely murdered. At least wait for some form of an upswing. I could see how from just a price. Whoa, something just happened. What just happened? What just happened? There has to be some sort of breaking news or something. The market's going a little bit crazy right here. 2 minutes ago, Russian Foreign Ministry, Russia is discussing Iran with the U.S. Iranian media reports sounds of explosions in western and eastern Tehran. EU's trade chief to meet U.S. Trade Representative Greer at G7 to talk trade and tariffs. That's what got the market to pop. Someone just went crazy on the Mag 7 right here. Huge calls. Dude, the market is drunk right now. What is going on? I'm just chilling. I'm not doing anything until we have a little bit more semblance of something making sense here. We just saw an options drop, brought the market down, and then 2 minutes later, we saw a big options pop, and we're seeing crazy swings in these positions. Look at that. Just Mag 7 down, and then someone I could give you the exact time. 9:49 and 10 seconds. Someone just went haywire. Some calls were purchased more for longer dated stuff, only a minimal amount for this Friday. But look at all those puts that closed out. That's interesting. So that's for the Mag 7 specifically. And then looking at the SPY, the 0 DTE calls sold and then an even bigger amount bought. And now they're bleeding off. Like, what the fuck? The market's drunk. Kids, the market is drunk again. Hopefully it doesn't have to drive you to soccer practice, because I don't even think the market knows what the hell it wants to do right now. More than normal, this is a time to just chill. I get that we broke out of the high. I get that the high from Friday. I get that we just made new intraday highs. But just looking at that jagged motion in the options, like, it's just not a nice trend to play. Just chill. Just chill. Just chill. Just chill. Yo, Matt, sometimes you be a little harsh on your audience, but I get that you're trying to defend the knowledge of new traders are receiving. I appreciate the information you provide. That's why I tune in. Yeah, I mean, for the people that think I'm a little bit harsh, I don't know if the market's necessarily for them. It takes a little bit of emotional resolve to be able to handle the market. So for anyone in the audience, if at any point like I've offended you, or if you think I'm a little bit too harsh, maybe you should just deeply consider if you're a giant pussy. That's another thing that it's a fair question, I would say. Harsh, dude. Babies, come on, seriously. If you think that I'm harsh, or if I've in any way hurt your feelings, I guess I'm sorry. Not really. I can't even say that earnestly. In reality, I don't care that much. But more importantly, if someone speaking on the internet has an emotional impact on you, trading's not for you. It like, truly, it is not for you. If you're like, no, if at any point you've had a negative emotional reaction because you thought someone was being mean to you on the internet, trading is not for you. There's many other things in this world you could do with your life that are absolutely phenomenal, but actively trading and engaging in the markets is not going to be one of them if you have the like emotional fragility of a middle school girl. Like, it's just not. Like, it is absurdly emotionally taxing. Trading is a very it's the most difficult thing you could do to make easy money. Classic saying for the market. I would say you need to find a new profession. Like, truly. Anyone expect Russia saying we're already in World War III to cause bearishness in indexes? I'm stunned gold and oil dropped and indexes are down. Indexes are up. They're actually up by almost 1%. SPY slightly down, less than 1%. Q's a little bit more, and now we're popping in real time. Indexes are very much not down. They are up. And I'm seeing more comments of people thinking that war is somehow bad for the market. And I get that knee-jerk reaction that you would assume death and destruction and all that type of stuff is bad for the market. But you might want to crack open a little bit of a history book, because history tells us the opposite story. History tells us that war, and that's a further conversation, but the end result that you need to know is war and conflict is actually meant by bullishness in the stock market. So I'm there with you. I understand that knee-jerk reaction, but I'm seeing a lot of people erroneously make the assumption that conflict, destruction, and war is somehow bad for the market. And I think knee-jerk, yeah, that's a logical assumption. But once again, when you dive into the data, opposite. Wars, what got us out of the Great Depression. Yeah, World War II is one of the best economic things that have ever happened to this country. History didn't have nukes. It did. There was actually, oddly enough, 2 individual instances that we can directly measure what happened. So I don't know where you're getting this idea of that history didn't have nukes, but it did. The market was a thing when 2 of them were dropped. Very much history did, and ever since then, we've always lived under the potential threat of nukes. So yeah, we did. So you're contradicting war pumps market by your puts? No, I had puts for a different reason. I think trying to trade off of like headlines like that is a very, very, very difficult thing to do. So it actually had nothing to do with the headlines of Israel, Iran, like whatsoever. Literally no connection. And in the Discord, we were talking about that, of like the risk of swinging over the weekend, because it could have either gotten better as it did, or the situation could have devolved, but it had nothing to do with it. Like I said, like, so right there, you're making the assumption that I saw these headlines and I bought puts. I didn't, because that's, once again, predicting. I truly believe in the game of the markets. It's just math. Like, it's just math. Oh, like basic, do you have an edge time and time and time again? And you want to see that play out time and time again. Initially, usually bearish for war news, then goes up. Guess Friday was priced in. Now we going up. No, not priced in. It was the situation got better over the weekend. And I know that's a crazy thing to say, because there's still missiles flying and unfortunately casualties. But it does seem as if we are getting closer to a resolution, and it's not going to boil over. That's in real time what the market is betting on right now. China's central bank increased its gold holdings by 2 tons in April, posting their 6th consecutive monthly purchase. Interesting. Iran stated privately it will resume nuclear talks if the U.S. stays out of the fight. That was the Wall Street Journal citing officials on today. Iran signals it wants to de-escalate hostilities with Israel. So that's all stuff that basically came out this morning and Sunday, so not priced in on Friday. Hang on, there was one other thing that I saw that I thought was interesting. Why can't I find it? You guys are chatting too quickly. Yeah, oil, or excuse me, someone just said that China's been stacking for a bit. They definitely have, like almost the better part of a decade. They've been getting rid of U.S. treasuries and loading up on gold. All right, we got this breakout. The question is, can it hold? I actually wouldn't mind this trade right here. A pullback to this key open interest level, a pullback to the key technical level, as in Friday's high, and then playing, if it can base there, bouncing off of it and trying to play it up to 650, 55, something like that, even 660. There's some action all the way up here, but what I'll be looking for is this pullback, and ideally a base creating a higher low, bouncing off a key level, and then using that as my ideally play of the day. So let's see. That got a nice pop, though, seemingly out of nowhere. It all started at 9:49. Look at the options flow is legit drunk today. A drop, a pop, a drop, another pop. Looking at the Mag 7, selling off all day, massive pop, gave half of it back, and then another massive pop at 9:55. This is, price looks a lot better, but the underlying data that we're getting from the options market on this is wild, man. It is absolutely wild that price has remained as seemingly calm as it is. What is going on? It's that metaphor that like the duck is calm on top of the surface while its feet are going crazy under. The options data that has led price to where we are right now. What is this mess? What is this mess? Let's see if it holds here. Yeah. So in my book, if we could get this pullback, a base, and then the options market remains strong, that would be like either A minus A or A plus setup off of this key level. But it looks like we're not even getting that much of a pullback. All right. We just started the new hour, which means, did we already get the 30-minute Orbo breakout? We did. 30-minute Orbo breakout. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. That is actually crazy. Nuts. Nuts, nuts, nuts. So 15-minute Orbo breakout, bullish. 30-minute Orbo breakout, also bullish. So bulls are winning thus far today. Trump and Carney hold bilateral meeting at G7 summit in Canada. What time is this playing out? Okay, at 11 a.m. So it looks like, and that's even if they start it on time. Who knows if they're going to start it on time? Who knows if they're going to start it on time? All right, let's go back to the options flow. All right, so the SPY making a new delta high, the Mag 7 making a new delta high. I do not want this to take any bearish trades whatsoever. Why are people spamming? Why are there bots in here right now spamming? We have a couple bots ruining chat right now, spamming some shitty crypto project. Yeah. Folks, if there were an evident short of the day, the evident short would be whatever shitty crypto coin is being pitched right now. Nothing tells you like it has a really solid quality project than scammers in here trying to pump it. It's definitely bullshit. So definitely don't buy it. And if you were to trade it, I would tell you the fact that they're in here, bots trying to pump it, it would probably be worthwhile to go to the south side. Okay, where are we at? It is a beautiful Monday. A beautiful Monday. Today is the 16th, I believe. I believe. Oh, I want to get all this right. Oh, I'm looking for a little bit of a pullback to do something with. A little bit of a pullback. Is that too much to ask for? I guess it might be. Well, if I missed the train, as I was pitching to you guys, there's always another one you could get on later. Always another one you could get on later, so I don't necessarily want to rush it. The SPY and the Qs are both sitting at their intraday high. Mag 7, Delta Flow finally turned around, really caught a bid here at 950, popping bullish. So like I was alluding to before, either price had to come down or Delta Flow had to go up, and it looks like the latter case is what became real. But people getting longer dated calls, really getting into longer dated calls. Interesting. Palantir chilling at a new all-time high, basically. Tesla flat, not doing anything. Avago getting hit. Nvidia doing quite a bit better than Avago. You have Meta waking up How's the daily chart on Meta look like? I kind of like it, actually. I kind of like Netflix, too. I kind of like Netflix as well. All right, let's do a little bit of a breakdown here. I want to see what the interesting levels are on Meta and Netflix. Where is Meta? Meta's right here. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Huge issue at 700, but if it could break 700. Huh. 750. Interesting. That's for Meta. What was the other one I was looking at? Netflix. Netflix. 1250. Interesting. Interessante. Interessante. Interessante, mi amigo. Interessante. All right. All right. We're seeing Palantir giving a little bit back. What do I want to get into? What was I just looking at? Oh, golly. All right. Interesting. I wonder if Meta is actually going to be able to hold 700 here. How is Netflix looking? Netflix is also just kind of chilling. Also kind of chilling. Oh. What's the flow looking like right here? Mag 7 is still pretty strong. SPY is pretty strong. Dude, the bulls are ripping it out of the gate. The bulls are ripping it. How's Tesla doing right now? Oh, just got a random pop out of nowhere. How's Tesla's daily? How's Tesla's setup looking? All right, so Tesla needs to get above and hold above 330. That's why it's at such an important battle right now. It's this massive play. Dude, if this gets going, the high vol point on Tesla, like the most negative gamma, is all the way up at 380. Holy crap. It's going to have a bit of an issue. 330 it needs to get above and hold above. If it does, it's a big win. Then you have a bit of an issue at 345, then 360, but then from 360 to 380, it could really speed up there. But 330 is going to be the major issue. Can Tesla get above and hold above 330? Looks like the SPY and the Qs are going a little bit flat. Oh. Interesting. Interesting. Why is this not working? Tesla catching a bid. Palantir is now flat. Where was Meta? So both Tesla and Meta are at key open interest levels right now. Tesla slightly above 330, while Meta's battling it out at 700, key psychological level as well. Netflix, Microsoft, that might be a new all-time high. ASML pinned to 774. MicroStrategy bleeding off, popping. Palantir, Tesla, Avago. Why is Avago selling off while NVIDIA was doing a bit better? Huh. All right, we're getting a bit of a pullback. I wanted more of a pullback for me to go long. I wanted a wee bit more of a pullback. I think we might be talking all the way up here. Where's SPX? Dude, look at that fucking recovery. That's crazy, dude. Absolutely. World War III, right here. That's all World War III was able to do. Folks, graphically, that's your World War III right here. That's it. One little candle. That's all she did. That's all she did. That's it. Like, that's all World War III was capable of. One day, slight baby hit. That's fascinating. Fascinating. All right. Let me add some stuff here. Okay. Is this not much of a pullback whatsoever? Not at all. All right, so that's all bullish. That's definitely all bullish. Where is VWAP? VWAP's all the way down at 22,032. Oh, be mindful of the contract roll. If you were on the Junes, you might want to roll ahead a little bit to what's that, the September. We are in the roll week on options, just so everyone knows. We are in the roll week. All right, it is 10:12. We have a little bit of a dip. Fuck it. I'll take the shot. What the fuck? Why is it not working? Why did this only trade on one? Fuck. Why did it do that? Oh. $7.62. Well, that's a bit of a bummer. Chasing it to the tune of 175 points, so like $10 worse off. So that one, I was literally just talking about the contract roll. So the original trade should have been in at 73. Instead, it's in at 83. So literally a 10-point worse fill because I rolled the contracts properly right here. I went from the June to the September one, but I didn't do it on the copier. I didn't realize I had too many tabs open over here. That's a bit of a bummer. A wee bit of a bummer. A wee bit of a bummer, but it happens. All right, what do I need to do to fix this now? Let me do some quick math. Let me do some quick math. 34. All right, we're gonna update that one. Oh, how do I want to fix this? How do I want to fix this? I guess pray. It's always a good technique, right? The old spray and pray technique. We'll see how it goes. I don't even know at this point. Are these all? Yeah, I think they are in a position. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Wow. Wow, look at that Mag 7. Spies even. We might be getting that push up to there. Oh, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? Oh, Piper has fired. If you're in the Discord, let me put this in there. Today's, yes. All right, if you are in the Discord, Piper just fired. So you're good there. Oh, what's 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour? That's all pretty freaking bullish. That's all pretty freaking bullish. July. The start of July is historically pretty bullish, but we're not that close to it, I suppose. All right, we're splashing the pot with a couple positions here. Meta is above 700. That's a nice win for the bulls. The Tesla's struggling at its level of 330. So 330, important open interest level for Tesla. Battling out there now. Above it, bulls win. Below it, bears win. And then the same could be said about 700 on Meta, but it looks like the bulls took control at 1010 there. At 1010. All right. Couple trades there, a couple 2-tree trades, a couple 2-tree. All right, we did all that. The only thing I haven't really done today myself is sell some premium. What do I think about selling premium today? Oh, what do I think about that? I'd really like to de-risk this situation. I would, in fact, love to de-risk this situation. I could move my risk right up to this recent low on a new intraday breakout. Maybe I wait for the test of 22,200. A test right here. I do like this pullback. Wasn't much, but it was a pretty strong trade to go long at 1011 because you could have bought that breakout. You're risking the recent low. And at this point, you could even set your stop to break even. And you basically have a free ride up to 6,055. So I like this trade right here. If you went long around 1011, 1012, somewhere right in here, risking this low, you have good risk to reward. I mean, at this point on the intraday breakout, you could actually set your stop to break even and you have a free play. And you're basically just trying to target somewhere between 6,050 and 60 as your next level. Speaking of which, here's a look at the gamma map for right now. I'm kind of expecting things to get a little sticky in here. That's quite a bit of positive gamma. But if it can break 50, We might have a push up higher. We might have a push up higher. All right, let's go back to the notifications. Mag 7 flow hanging out at the intraday high. SPY, same thing, hanging out at the intraday high. NASDAQ, intraday high. Tesla's been getting hit. NVIDIA, intraday high. Palantir, kind of turning back over. Microsoft, that was the one that got the big pop at 955. Apple looking weird. Netflix flat after a pop. MicroStrategy was getting hit in real time, turning around right now. Meta has been getting a nice pop. Hell yeah. And then Avago actually getting hit. So that's your quick little Delta rundown. If you haven't already, don't forget to sign up for Public. They are today's stream partner. But more importantly than that, I truly love this brokerage. If you are at all considering being an option trader or you are an options trader, check this out. It's the only brokerage I know of that you get a rebate to trade options. Doesn't matter if it's a call or put. Doesn't matter if you're buying or selling. If you're profitable, you'll be more profitable on Public. If you're not so profitable, well, at least the pain won't be as much because once again, every single time you buy or sell, doesn't matter if it's calls or puts, you will be earning a rebate. To start off at a higher rebate tier, make sure you use that link pinned to the top of chat and in the description of the video. And obviously, shout out to Public. Free to download, free to sign up. Fresh highs there. Meta, love it at 700. Really need Tesla to hold 330 here. All right, I need to get... I hate that I traded this improperly. And I could have just waited and like got the fill on the other one so they all had the same level. I just wanted to trade all these accounts together. And right now I'm in the situation where 20 of my 21 accounts has a 10-point worse fill than where I wanted them to all get in. And it had to do with the contract roll. I messed that up. Come on. What do I do? 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 I can't do the freebie ride yet just because I'm expecting a rejection on the first attempt of 22,200. I would love for it just to pump. That would make my life far, far easier. But maybe I just treat these accounts differently and just, hey, it's the situation I have. Risk management, risk management, risk management. Okay, if I were a good trader, what would I do? If I were cosplaying, if I were acting as a trader who knows what the fuck they are doing, what would I be doing at this moment in time? What would I be doing at this moment in time? Obviously, I'm not a good trader and I have no idea what I'm doing, but let's act. You know, we're going through an acting exercise. If I were to act as a good trader, what would I be doing right now? Crying, perhaps? Maybe. Ordering lunch. All right. That's another strong suggestion. If Tesla can hold 330, I already did the breakdown of the options levels, but it basically 340 and 350 are a big battle. But then after that, it could actually get flying all the way up to 380. Full port, multiple PA accounts on various firms, all different directions. Hell yeah. Playing NBA 2K. I don't want to, I guess, chastise any of you, if that's the word that I'm looking for. But I find it a little bit upsetting that no one in chat has congratulated me for beating Dragon Slayer 2 on old school RuneScape. Like, I know you guys don't, like, you got to play cool, so you don't want to congratulate me on all of my different successes. I get that. I totally understand that you don't want to be that kind of a person. I get it. But the fact that not one person in here said, hey, Matt, congrats on beating that quest that you couldn't beat on the game that you played when you were, like, not even a teenager. Like, finally, at the ripe old age of 30, I was finally able to beat a quest that I could not beat when I was like 10. And did it take me an extra 2 decades? Yeah, it did. And the fact that just none of you are like, dude, that's awesome, man. It's all right, whatever. I'll deal with it. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. You're going to cry. I'm not crying. You're crying. Bullish, 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 bullish. Bullish, 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 bullish. We're having a little bit of an issue at 48. I thought we would at least get up to 49.50. We're getting a little bit of a pullback here. Oh, a little bit of a pullback. Oil is really dropping. Look at this. Oil is plummeting. War canceled, folks. War is freaking canceled. Would love for Tesla holding 330. And I mean, I could show you. I could give you the let's check this out. This is why having spot gamma is so awesome. You could see right here. This is a massive, massive positive gamma resistance. But if we were to break it, pretty easy trip back up to 340, just the next major open interest level. So we're trying to get above this wall right here at 330. And if it can, 340, probably at that point, I would expect the 350 bets to grow. But if everything stayed constant, the next thing to consider is this high vol point at 380. So 330, a huge battle. 340, next target, nice $10 of upside, but that would be the next one. And if it could take that out, the structure will most likely change. But if it didn't, then you're talking about 380. For those of you in Palantir, looks like there's a lot going on at 143, but it's already above 143. There are some bets at 145, but I'm not seeing too many bets on Palantir farther out. If you're playing MicroStrategy, I don't have any position on that right now, but if you are, the interesting plays down here at 370, low vol point at 390. Meta, let's zoom in a little bit on this guy. Might make it a little easier to see what's going on. Needs to get above and hold above 700. We were talking about that. That is a lot of a put position. And then from there, you don't really have the most going on. I mean, there's some bets at 750. Avago, not really actually doing the most today. Tesla, we already did that. Nvidia, let's see what Nvidia is looking like. 150, quite a few long calls up there. And then people are short calls at 155. So people are actively betting on Nvidia pumping up to 150, but not above 154. Interesting. That might be the sweet spot on old Nvidia. On old Nvidia. All right, how are we looking? Not doing much. Slow grind to the upside. Not complaining about Meta at all. If it can hold 700, that is a massive, massive win. And who knows? This thing might get untethered and we might be talking about it at 750 in the coming weeks. GME get any screen time these days? I don't know. Is it doing anything? You want this to get screen time? Are we talking about the same ticker? Are we? I hope you're talking about a different one than I am, because that seems absurdly boring. It's not breaking out or breaking down. It's not doing anything. Not doing squat, dude. Not doing nada. Meta's up 3%. That's a nice gain. All right. So Palantir's up quite a bit. Meta's up quite a bit. ASML is a decent amount. Nvidia and Tesla. Let's throw Tesla back up there. Can it hold? It's trying to hold 330, but it's running into a lot of that. And that's probably just market makers hedging it out. Microsoft's up 1%. Dollar value, that's probably the biggest market cap gain. Oh, we're just having a bitch of a time at 22,200. Options data for IWM. Your name is faceless, but your picture is of a face. That's an interesting one. Faceless, yet you do have a face in your picture. Here's the options flow on IWM. It popped up until about 10:20, taking a bit of a breather now. That's on IWM directly. If we were to look at the whole Russell complex, same thing, basically popping up till a little bit after 10. Bit of a breather right now, but overall the trend is to the upside. AMD. Whoa. Oh, dude. People are fucking loving AMD. I mean, I missed that play. It's way too far gone now, but Jesus. AMD doesn't have any chill. Just like perfectly persistent call buying. And now even more. Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, it's not my play. I obviously missed it. But dude, dude. It's just so perfect. It's just, look at all that beautiful call buying, a little bit of put selling. Someone just sold a chunk of puts right there. That's why we got a little extra push. Like, I'm not going to chase it, but damn, that looks good. Someone said coin. What's coin looking like? What's coin looking like? Coin's looking pretty decent too. Not as perfect as AMD, but it's looking definitely bullish. Oh, speaking of that, wait, I never sold my premium. Shit. Oh, son of a nutcracker. You guys got me all jacked up. Son of a nutcracker. Fuck. I might have just missed it. This premium's not trading at anything right now. Yeah, I think I missed it. Well, golly. Well, golly. Yeah, I missed that one. Well, Tesla, higher low, and it's trying to hold that 330 level. Look for it to push 331. We are battling. What do I do? 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 So I want to move my stop up to break even so I'm no longer risking anything. My issue is like, what if it just has a little bit of profit taking at 22,000, quickly knocks me out, and then it rips? Oh, what do I do? 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 My life would be so much easier if there were just like one giant pop. What do I do? Do I just let it rip? Do I just let it rip? Thoughts? If I were a good trader, how would I manage this right now? If I happen to be a good trader, what in the world would I be doing? I know that's a tough reach for me. Generally, I don't see green on the charts. So I'm in a foreign land right now. I don't know what it's like to actually be up money. And that's why I'm panicking on the inside. That is definitely why I'm panicking. What to do? Just follow the trading plan. Jason, I don't have a trading plan. That's the issue. I don't know what I'm doing. Scarecrow is, I think, how you'd pronounce your name, with the crow. I locked in $100 profit. Dude, sick. Do a small bet. I've already done a massive bet. It's on the screen. Can you guys not see it? Yeah. Oh, brother. Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Do I just take all risk off and pray it hits and like basically pray we don't have a pullback to this chasey entry that I had? Damn, that contract roll really screwed me over on this one. The contract roll, I mean, imagine if they were all here. I could put the stop to break even. It would be a technical breakdown. We're really close to the profit anyway. Like we would be living life on easy street right now. But instead, no, I had to be the dumbass not checking. Why are there so many undecided candles today? Dude, that's what I'm trying to figure out myself. No plan, tarot card. And then that becomes a plan. Yeah, that's a good point. The only way to get myself out of this pickle, we're going to have to turn to the mystical arts of the Cats Rule the Earth tarot card set. That's the only way we're going to be able to figure out this particular trade. Everyone out there, they're like, oh, fundamentals, technicals, options flow. They don't know what they're talking about. They have no idea what they're talking about. When in doubt, turn to the mystical arts. That's the only way to win this game. That is the only way. 7 long. Steven knows what's up. Abolish dual citizenship. That's an interesting conversation, but oddly enough, not answered by the tarot card set. Not at all answered by the tarot card set. All right, I'm just giving it a nice shuffle here. A nice shuffle. Let's see what the mystical arts have for us today. 3, 2, 1. Put that in the bottom. Abracadabra, alakazam. Oh, market gods, allow us to be your vessel today to execute upon your plan perfectly. Jesus, we're going to make a killing today, folks. The King of Cups. I don't think we've ever pulled this one before. You might be noticing that the cat looks like it's methed out, and that is because the cat is methed out. Look at those eyes. We just ripped the King of Cups. That means we have to be making money. That, I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, it's like the no kings, whatever riots. The King of Cups, the King of Cups, the King of Cups, 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 cups. Where is it? I'm trying to find it here. The King of Cups. A loving person who gives the positive regard and unstinting support that enables you to flourish emotionally or creatively. A counselor, spiritual teacher, or patron of the arts, for example. This card would also indicate that you need to find such qualities within you so you have the confidence to fulfill your destiny. So emotional security, mentor, support. A loving person who gives the positive regard and unstinting support that enables you to flourish emotionally or creatively. Folks, that is me for all of you guys. It really is. Can you think of a better way to describe our relationship than a person who gives you guys loving support and unstinting emotional support? Like, literally, it's watching this show. It knows our relationship. Wow. These cards. Is there anything they can't do? Is there anything they can't do? Apparently the answer is make me money. Apparently the answer, dude, I just need to hold 22,000. Just chill, dude. Just chill. Just chill, dog. Let's get really drilled in here. Here's the 100 tick chart. This is something to make your blood start popping. Your blood pressure levels rise. Watching the 100 tick. Stop it. Stop that. Stop it. Dobby. Dobby. Uh-oh. Tesla not holding 330. Metal holding 700. Mag 7 just peaked, taking a little bit of a breather right here, but the Delta high, we have some people locking in their profits on calls. Calls are getting sold. Let's go back to the S&P 500. S&P 500, bit of a divergence. Higher price, lower Delta rating right here at 1035. Well, that's not so good. That's not so good whatsoever, Batman. That is not so good. How do I want to handle this? Should I just get out? I hate the fact that I need to handle it 2 different ways. Oh, that's going to drive me crazy. That's going to drive me crazy. Come on. Just pop it. I need more emotional support from you people. As the card informed us, you guys should be emotionally supporting me right now. All right, the 5-minute, obviously, pretty freaking bullish. 10-minute, pretty freaking bullish. 30-minute, pretty freaking bullish. 4-hour, pretty freaking bullish. Same thing on the NASDAQ. Granted, we are getting a slight pullback right now, but overall, look at where we've come from. What a recovery. What a freaking recovery. Yeah, we're getting hit at 6,050. That's, yeah, you just have profit takers at that very important key psychological level and technical level and open interest level. So basically this profit taking happened right as we hit that level. Like, it makes sense. I get it. I don't like it, but I get it. I get why people wrote it all the way up. They said 6,050. Cool. Let's lock in profits. I even get why some people probably went short there, because if you went short at 1036, your risk is just this recent high. It's such baby risk that in the event this is a rejection, we fall all the way back, your risk to reward is massive. So like this 6,050 to 6,060, this is going to be a pain in the butt level for the bulls to get it above. But if they do get it above, awesome. But we even called out all this. Oh, now there's even more positive gamma with a weird little hit here at 55, which is exactly why I have this at 55. But this whole region is just so much positive gamma. So much positive gamma. Let me check one thing. Oh, that's pretty bullish. That is pretty bullish. Let me check another thing. 50, 60, so yeah, we're getting caught up in this zone. It's a lot of positive gamma. A lot of positive gamma. Oh, how to handle it. We might be wicking here, taking out these wicks on the 10-minute. That's not so good for my play. Should have been disciplined enough to have a better entry. Should have been disciplined enough. Oddly, I think this is still actually going to be fine, but there might just have to be some smoke in the middle. Tesla bouncing right back above 330. Meta still holding that 700. Palantir is doing what? Giving some of it back. ASML looking good. Nvidia holding. Tesla trying to hold that 330. Microsoft looking good. Avago was not so good today. Yeah, recovered a little bit, but only a little bit. Netflix getting hit over the past 10 minutes. That sucks. Well, let's see. I'm about to have 10 minutes of red here. Granted, coming off the high and also smacking a very important level. Oh, how should I fix this? How should I fix my fuck up? Did I just pray? Pray that this is just a higher low, or are we actually turning here? How's the Mag 7? What time is it? 10:42. Dude, the Mag 7 flow is still strong. Okay, I see that price is chilling, but look at that. It's still strong. While this, we still have profit taking on the SPY. That's the issue here. Is and puts are starting to get in. So the bulls are getting out of their calls. Some of the bulls, obviously, overall we're still up, but recently, past couple minutes here, past 10 minutes, we do see call selling and put buying. It all kind of started at 10:34. Pretty much it all started exactly when we hit 6,050. So this is momentary, obviously, but it's just more, it's a strength reading. Are the bulls stronger or are the bears stronger? Are the bulls strong enough to get a retest and a breakout, or are they too weak and they took their profits and then the bears step in and they knock us back down to the high and the closing value that we saw, or just the high value from Friday? No one knows. It all depends on these guys. So Mag 7 Delta seemingly double topping, but profits are getting locked in here. Profits are definitely getting locked in. Look at all these paper-handed traders. All these paper-handed Nancys. Why are they locking it in? Have some faith. Have some faith in your fellow bullish traders. Uh-oh, Tesla's really having a tough time at that 330. Oh, geez. Who's going to win it? SPY catching a bit of a bid. We might be going for another retest here. Here, I will mark out the intraday high. Q's lagging a little bit behind. It must be some other sector that's getting the bid. SPY. The bulls are trying to fight back. They're trying to, but it's all going to come down to 6,050. Can we get above and hold above that? And then even if we do, there's a big mess right ahead. Look at all that positive gamma. 6085 might be an interesting. That's a long haul. 6085. Come on, you could do it. Come on, bull camp. Hang on, what is this? What am I getting here? Meta taking a little bit of a hit. Come on, Qs. Do it. Fight, fight, fight. Fight higher. Higher, higher, higher. So I am trading 21 accounts. I have 20 Apex and 1 take profit. And through a series of issues that were my own fault, but I will not be taking ownership over those issues. I'm in 2 distinct trades that are off by about 10 points, unfortunately. If I traded all 21 together when I was supposed to, instead of 1 standalone, at this point, I'd have my stop at break even for all, and I'd just be hoping that we rip and I make my money. But instead, I messed it up because I'm a dumbass, and now I'm in 2 completely different trades, and I'm just hoping they all work out in my favor. I'm hoping they all work out in my favor. Tarot sucks donkey dick. Are you saying that as a good thing or as a bad thing? I feel like that could be interpreted 2 different ways, if I'm being completely honest. Sound has cut out twice. I don't know what to tell you. Meth Cat will lead us to the moon. That's the vibes I want. Thank you, Raplo. Yeah, the methed out King Cat will lead us to the promised land. I really just need this to hold at 22,200. This is where NQ is really reacting. Like, we went up, we got smacked. We're fighting back up. Maybe we get smacked, maybe we don't. I don't know. It is also roughly aligning with SPX right here at, let's go to the 3-minute. It is 6,050. So we have NQ at, well, this is the wrong. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. This is NQM. I need to update this. Regardless, you can see we're right at 6,050. We're right at 22,200. Like, we're just at these key levels. And now it just becomes a 50-50 bet of, do we break out or break down? Do we break out or do we get rejected? Oh, here's a look at the flow. That's not good for me. Profit takers on the Mag 7. The SPY finally stopped. It went flat. So hopefully call buyers step back in. Literally, as I say that, they get smashed again. Son of a gun, dude. Right when I say, hey, they're flat, maybe call buyers step back in. Nope, smashed. Ugh, even the Mag 7 peaking here at 1040. I don't have the best vibes on this one, team. I need bulls to step in. And obviously they could step in at any moment like they did earlier today when we were watching. We're all like, yo, what is that? But even this, we have people locking stuff in on Meta. Tesla is seemingly losing its fight at its key open interest level of 330. I have a funny feeling this is going to come down just enough to knock me out, and then it's going to take off. And if I just held it all day, I would have been fine. XLF is ripping, so it is the financial subsector that's looking real good. So XLF, whenever you see the XLs, that's the subsectors of the S&P 500, with XLF being the financial subsector of the, obviously, of the entire S&P 500. You could look at energy, that's XLE, sold off, going flat. Utilities are flat. Healthcare, XLV, pretty good. Industrials is XLI, decent. Tech, XLK, pretty decent. Real estate, XLRE, also looking pretty good. Consumer staples, XLP, was looking good, giving some of it back now. Consumer discretionary, pretty good, but now really just flat. And those are pretty much all of them. Once again, they are the XLs, XL, and then you're basically just changing the ending there. But yeah, it does look like, actually, none of them are really looking that bad. Energy had a weird hit, but it's just flat now. It's not really diving. Not really diving. Oh, we might be putting in the first clear lower high of the day just now. So I'm watching that. We haven't really flushed, so it's not a lower high technically, but we definitely are range bound. And dude, I just need all this profit taking to stop right here. I mean, I can, like, here's the data in real time. Starting at 9:40, or excuse me, 10:41, 10:42, calls dropping. That's people selling calls, most likely locking in their profits from the day. On the S&P 500, similar situation. These calls are dropping, but it's actually worse on the S&P 500 because people are also buying puts, and I get it. I mean, they're just doing it off of a key level. So the risk is very minimal. And if they're right, the reward on a ratio basis is going to be great. Like, it's going to be much greater than what they're risking. So they did it right at the risk level. They picked a good one. And I'm just the jealous dude who didn't get out when I needed to get out. AMD, dude, that's crazy. What a monster. What an absolute monster. AMD, maybe, why can't the market start acting like AMD? AMD is leading people to the promised land right now. That is crazy. Good for AMD. Wow. No chill. It's up 9%. What's the news on AMD? I mean, obviously that's somewhat news driven. Calls are up 1,000%. Stock market AMD 2025. AMD. Something with AI. Something with chips. AMD is an obvious buy. What is the official news? Its new GPUs are very supposedly competitive. Huh. I guess their new chips are rocking it. The market's loving it. The market is very much loving it. Look at that, dude. It just, from market open till literally an hour and 20 minutes later, this is just ripping it. Absolutely ripping. All right. I am praying that I hear that alert go off before I hear this alert go off. Bit range bound in the indices. We've been range bound. You could argue since like 1020. We got a little bit of a pop, but just no follow through. Granted, not breaking down, but definitely not breaking out. AMD is having a great day. Would love for Meta to hold 700. Tesla needs to hold 330. It's been battling there all day. Palantir is giving some back, but it's still one of the biggest gainers on my watch list, with AMD actually being up the most. Avago, strangely weak. Patience. And supposedly you could get them for MSRP right now. Really? Interesting. I mean, obviously I wouldn't be chasing something up 9%, but if you happen to already have a position, you're riding it, dude, let your winners ride. That's phenomenal. That's absolutely phenomenal. Bullish. All momentum is bullish for the S&P 500 and for the NASDAQ. Looking for the options flow to return to being bullish. Unfortunately, this is a look at the SPY. We had divergence. Price went higher. Delta flow didn't. That was at 1035. Price is trying to fight back. Maybe we're bottoming right here at 1051. Maybe. Looking at the Mag 7, same thing. People are just locked. Like, it makes sense. Basically, we ripped up to a key level, and then people locked in their calls. They bought puts just in case there is a rejection, low risk. And if they're wrong, their risk is probably at 60-50. So if we get tapped, they'll just cut it. It's a paper cut. Dude, AMD, this is disgusting. How many of you are playing AMD right now? Because that's amazing. Piper Sandler's analyst Harsh Kumar, which has a buy rating on AMD, upped his price target on the Dr. Lisa Su-led company to 140 from 125, trading at 127. Jesus. Wow. That's crazy. Tesla doesn't really know what it wants to do, but it's really struggling at 330 here. Meta's holding. ASML's looking good too. Avago not doing much. I'd love for Nvidia. How's Microsoft? Microsoft trying to hold. Nice 1% gain. Oh, the market's now just range bound. Doesn't know what the fuck it wants to do. Come on, just break out and rip. Just break out and rip already. Just break out and rip. Nothing. The bulls aren't strong enough. The bears aren't strong enough. We're just range bound. You could even see it now in options. Options really just bottoming out. So it looks like as of this exact moment in short term, the interesting opportunity is more in individual equities where we're getting some movement. AMD clearly to the upside, but the overall market hasn't done anything in a few minutes. Let's go back over to these GEX levels. Lot of positive gamma right here. Yeah, we basically shot up into positive gamma, and this is more of a quicksand environment. It's not necessarily bullish or bearish. It just is where price really doesn't move that much. So shot right up to this positive gamma. If we could hold 6,030, cool. We'll probably just get stuck here for the rest of the day. Big positive gamma node exactly at 6,050, which is pretty much where we're at. Explosions heard in Tel Aviv. Yeah, I mean, I think that has been the news for 4 days straight now. I have no doubt that is going on. I'm also not really seeing any unique breaking news. Unemployment among recent degree holders aged 22 to 27 has reached 5.8%. Well, that can't be good. Let's go to fuck. Oh, I don't want to. Hopefully the dip buyers start stepping in like freaking now. Shit. That is not the best sign for me. Not the best sign that we're taking out some of the lows that we saw at 1042. There is some support here. It's not the craziest thing to bounce, but it's just not necessarily the alert that I wanted to be hearing right now. Financial juice. Let's see what some of the recent news is. Large blasts hit western Tehran 1 minute ago. EU Energy Commissioner will not offer compensation to countries for phasing out Russian gas. U.S. military moves refueling tanker airplanes to Europe. U.S. officials, they move gives Trump options in the Middle East. Trump has not signed off on the Israel-Iran G7 statement. Well, I think they're going to be chit-chatting pretty soon here. Iran asked Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Oman to ask Trump to press Israel to agree to immediate ceasefire. In return, Iran to offer flexibility in nuclear negotiations with the U.S. Iran asked Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Oman to ask Trump to... Okay. So it sounds like Iran wants this all to end, and like now? Are they actually talking here yet? No, stand by. Stand by for a video. Oh, AMD. A rare red bar of the day for AMD. A rarity. It's like a holographic Charizard to see a red bar with AMD today. Fuck. Things are not going the way I need them to right now. The question is, am I going to be a degenerate? Oh, how do I want to handle this one? We are seeing some fresh lows, unfortunately. Not the vibe that I necessarily wanted right now. Shit. Is red legal? That's a fair question. A very fair question. I believe this should be starting. I don't know. Momentum is still bullish. Price momentum is. Price structure is as well. It's just, oh, Mag 7. Whoa. Starting to show a little bit of life here. Okay, we might be getting a little bit of a relief bounce. Check this out. Mag 7 is starting to wake up, folks. Unfortunately, the SPY is not. Look at, oh my God, it's just diving. Ever since 1035. All right, so the Mag 7, the bulls are showing up in the Mag 7 and not quite yet in the SPY. Actually, in fact, we went from bullish to bearish there. But Mag 7, look at that, starting to spin it back around. Maybe this is something we could play off of. Maybe. It's a questionable maybe. It's a suspect maybe. I'm liking it. Ooh, Mag 7, it's starting to wake up. Someone's catching a bid. We just need the SPY to fucking stop selling, man. Hi, Matt. Is this mostly a swing trading channel? No, I wouldn't say mostly. I do a lot of day trading and a lot of swing trading. But definitely trading, not investing. Most of the conversation is very much active trading. But I would say per day, I'm doing both swing trades and day trades. I wouldn't say what is more dominant than the other. What I would tell you is if you want to be a profitable trader, you should probably not be a day trader. It is much, much easier. The difficulty of trading lessens with the longer your time frame. The issue there is the trade-off is probably making like if you get something right in the short term, like a degenerate 0DT, technically your potential is very high of what you could theoretically make, especially in such a short term. So that's what people find so attractive of it. But in terms of the difficulty to make money, the longer your time frame, the easier it is. Definitely easier. And there's countless research articles that suggest it. Countless. All right, maybe this is our higher low right here at 1057 as we go into a new hour. I'm looking for a little bit of a trend line breakout and then a test and ideally a rip above the intraday high. Microsoft is doing its thing. Tesla back to battling it out at 330. Meta successfully holding 700. Come on. Let's get this trend line break. Here, I will go to the 5 minute on all of this, clean up the charts a little bit. AMD, this is just actually crazy to watch. I don't even know if I have an AMD position. It's probably some like Street Beat managed algo thing. Oh, wow. Oil's diving. Oil's really diving. Oil went sub 70 for a second there. Well, that's showing the market's opinion of what's going on. Oil coming back down, saying the situation isn't that bad. Avago's now ripping? Oh, out of nowhere, it did catch a bid. Wow. Good call out. Yeah, Avago waking up. Netflix not doing anything. Microsoft at its all-time high. NVIDIA is catching a nice bid right now. NVIDIA is breaking out. Watch 145. Remember, most the options market is mainly playing 150 with long calls. And then there's sold calls at 154. ASML. Semiconductors are catching a bid right now in real time. Semiconductors. Something like Soxel. Yeah, look at Soxel. 3x semiconductors up 10%. Oh, these are looking good. Semis. The old semis. That's why Q's got a little bit of a pop there. AMD as well. AMD's really leading the way. But yeah, Nvidia catching a bid. Broadcom catching a bid. ASML's been looking good all day. Yeah, across the board, semis they're kind of dominant right now. I thought that was going to be enough of a push to get SPX to once again retest. Shit, it's not. It's actually getting hit. I really thought right here, I truly thought this 11 a.m. switch was going to get another retest of 6,050. Unfortunately, it's actually just being met by additional selling. The party was on up until about 10:21, got a little bit rocky here at 10:35 where we had diversions between options and price. And right here, I thought at 11 at 10:59, cool, like this is the bottom. But look at that, just so quickly rocked again. Call buying turned into call selling, put selling turned into put buying, and it all happened within 4 to 5 minutes. Like, what was visions of grandeur of like that retest and the breakout? Look at this, just such a brutal fake. Options popped, went flat, and then smashed within like a minute. It's just such a bummer because the Mag 7 is looking great. Look at the Mag 7 sold off, base, woke up, and it's even holding right now. But it's hard to fight it when the SPY is just getting like destroyed. Look at all that puts. A lot of people playing this rejection at 6,050. And their talk really hasn't started. I was trying to wait for this. It was supposed to start about 5 minutes ago, but I guess that ain't happening. Jesus. Yeah, the SPY, it just can't catch a breather. All this call selling, all this put buying, it's just dropping the delta. And even the positive movement in the Mag 7 here, it's not enough to outdo it. So on a relative basis, you are seeing the Qs hold up a bit better, but something's going on underneath here. Look at it. Like in real time, this delta is just diving. It would have been one thing if it was call selling, but the fact that they're also buying, like there's a lot of 0DT puts being purchased right now. And it started at 1046, and now we're at the most extreme amount of 0DT puts. This light blue line just hit the most negative delta of the day on that one. And then when you couple that with all the 0DT call selling, it's just going to drop the delta, but it also has like quite an outsized impact on gamma as well. Wow. Look at that. Well, this is the pullback I probably should have waited for, but hopefully it's just that, a pullback. I mean, AMD is looking great. That's not taking a breather. Meta's holding. Tesla's having a real tough time at 330. Oh, what was that? Nvidia. Look at that pop over the past. Dude, Nvidia alone might be saving the market. You put Nvidia and AMD in a room together, dude. They're going to be saving everything. Semiconductors are crushing it right now. So you can look at SMH, that's an ETF for semis, or there's a leverage one, 3x leverage stock still, but it looks like AMD is having a good day. Nvidia is having a good day. Avago is now having a good day. ASML, yeah. Semis are what's keeping the market up right now. Well, it looks like what's bringing the SPY down? So the financials took a little bit of a hit. Energy, utilities are starting to go down. And, healthcare started to dive right there. So that's part of the reason. Yeah, healthcare, we had 20 minutes of a bit of a puke. So something in the healthcare sector not looking so good. UNH. Yeah, UNH going from 313 down to 305 at its most extreme. Huh. Eli Lilly is actually break even. Something in the healthcare not so hot. Tesla not able to hold that 330 level, unfortunately. Yeah, Tesla putting in a lower high here and lower lows. Qs are trying to hold on because of semis, but the SPY taking a bit of a hit. Fuck. Yeah, there's too much. It's been nonstop. It got going at 10:36 today. All this call selling, all this put buying. Iran State TV, we are being attacked by Israel. That's one alert that just came across. Tech is trying to hold, though. Yeah, SPY is getting more hit than the Qs. The Qs are really holding on because of the semiconductor space. So my prediction is one of these is right and one is wrong, as in either the Qs are going to break down and look like the SPY, or the SPY is going to reverse course and start looking like the Qs. But I don't foresee this divergence lasting for that long. Okay. Well, I was attempting to wait and see what's going on here, but I guess they're just not ripping it today. So I don't know what's going on there, but definitely pay attention. At some point, we're going to get more headlines. Man, semis are still ripping. So maybe, just maybe I have a shot here. So definitely pay attention to semis. They're looking pretty freaking bullish right now. So that's exciting. Shout out to Public. They are pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. If you use that link, you're going to start out at a higher rebate tier. So definitely do that. Free to download, free to sign up, no commission fees, no per contract fees. Earn a rebate every single time you trade an options contract. Doesn't matter if you're buying or selling. Does not matter if it is a call or a put. Every single time you are engaging with one, you are getting those rebates. Start out with a higher tier. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. There's a reason why it is my favorite place to trade options, and it's because no other one gives you that rebate. If you haven't already, you could join the Discord. It's in the description of the video. Your first month is free with that code Goonie. Other than that, we'll be posting an update video later on today. Obviously, stick to your trading plan, respect your risk, and remember, no one can predict in this game, and no one has a magic holy grail trading system that is right all the time. This game is going to most likely, for most of us, be a 50-50 game, as in you're right half the time, wrong half the time, plus or minus about like 10%. So when you have those type of odds, the way you win is cutting your losers quickly and riding your winners as long as you can. That's how you will become net profitable. So just a little bit of a reminder before I let you go, but in real time, it actually does look like the Nasdaq might be attempting to have a little bit of a recovery breakout. So I'm going to be watching that. And then obviously I'll be watching SPX at 6,050. Very, very important level. Avago is breaking out right now. Avago is going. I just got to look at that thing go. Jesus. All right, folks. Well, looks like this afternoon might be a bit of an exciting one. So that's what I have for you. I beg of you, stick to your trading plan. I appreciate all the good vibes. I'll catch you in the update video tonight, and then once again streaming tomorrow morning. I appreciate all of you. Peace.